Hello and welcome to another edition of the CFL Fans in the USA podcast. My name is Rick Crabb, and joining me as always, the moderator of the CFL Fans in the USA Facebook group, Mr. Phil Hall. Phil, how was your weekend, and how was it keeping those Ravens and Capitals fans trying to interrupt Steelers practice for you?
Oh, man, it was crazy, man, and I just want to say, hey, how y'all doing? As Ravens fans and Capitals fans keep on invading Latrobe, PA, home of Arnie Palmer, and that's okay. I still rock my Hamilton Hammer Tiger Cats jersey in middle of training camp. People's like, are this a high school team? I'm like, no, a CFL team. So I'm like, check them out at 3 o'clock, and I hope no one did. You know?
All right, there you go.
Yeah, so.
I think everybody can be united on Rolling Rock, though, whether you like it or you don't like it. I don't know. They still make that there?
They moved to St. Louis, but we still buy, like this is Anheuser-Busch, but you still can buy Rolling Rock there. Our main thing, and whenever y'all come to Pittsburgh, go to Icy Light. They got Icy Light Brewery, Iron City beer. That's the same thing.
Okay.
They got regular beer, light beer, and the people like Icy Light Mango beer. It's pretty insane, but it tastes good.
Okay.
You know?
That's interesting. All right, yeah, I'll have to try that. I had Icy Light a long time ago, but it's like I went up there. I went to Pittsburgh once to see a band, and the band canceled out, of course, but I remember I bought like a tall boy can of Icy Light with a Penguins logo on it, and I brought two or three of them back. Cold and
you know I like down where you at Bohemian beer.
Oh, National Natty Bo, yep, National Bohemian, yeah. Well, they're the same thing as the Rolling Rock. They don't brew that here anymore. They can and bottle it at different places, but it was bought by Pabst, who was then bought by Molson Coors, and so it's like, but they primarily sell it only here, though. You know, everywhere else it's Pabst Blue. It's the same. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's the same beer.
Yeah, and here's a funny story to tell y'all before we go to CFL. I know we from Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Here's me and my buddy Mike Zola. He watched CFL with me too. We do a day trip to Baltimore to the Guinness factory, and we'll save our money. We save our points because knowing the fact we taking home $300 worth of Guinness beer. You know, like
oh yeah.
They got beers like because I told them like, dude, they have a mint chocolate Guinness beer and it played like a Guinness. I'm like, oh my goodness, we gotta go.
You know what's funny? I've yet to go to that place. I wanted to. I've always wanted to. It's just I don't know. Never got around to gone to other breweries and stuff. For some reason, I haven't gone there. But but what was weird is not too far from there. They're near BWI Airport. And unfortunately, they just went out of business. They used to have a Permanente Brothers not too far from there.
Get out of here.
But it's a shame. They folded, but it was like, I think a lot of people thought they associated too much with Pittsburgh, but they tried to incorporate Baltimore. They had, inside the bar, they had this big mural with all these Baltimore athletes from past and present on a wall. And I mean, it was a nice place, and food was good too, but, you know, it's...
Yeah.
Plus, it was at a weird location. It was almost... It's like that whole area by the airport. It's like government industrial parks or big hotels. So, and it was kind of like almost in an out of the way kind of place too. So I think that's what also hurt it. But
yeah, it's kind of like that in Pittsburgh. There's some place called Moon Township, and it was just like away from everything. And now they have highways, like we call them turnpikes, but they have toll roads to get to certain parts of the airport. so that's kind of crazy.
That's
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'll tell you what, I had a ball buddy, he worked for the Steelers, and he went to Ireland last year. He said, all right, which one's better? Get Akron to Ireland or expand Baltimore? I gotta be difficult. I don't want to better. Like, what?
Yeah, right. Yeah, really.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there was one more food establishment, and I promise, folks, we'll get to the CFL. But they actually just recently opened a Tim Hortons near us.
Oh, I can't wait. I love Tim Hortons, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, the closest Tim Hortons to us is like 60 miles north, somewhere in a little town called Grove City. So,
okay.
Every time they have an outlets up there, we go to outlets, and when I used to drink coffee, I go to Tim Hortons. I make sure that, so.
Right.
The kudos for y'all to get in Tim Hortons.
Yeah, except they're still working things out. It was like, I don't know, we got there like around lunchtime, and I think Kim got an iced latte, but I think I got like regular soda, but we both got like these sandwiches, and it's like we ordered drinks for us, 10 bits to take back, and then our sandwiches, and like the sandwiches took forever. But I don't know, I think it's because they're new and they were running out of stuff quick already, and they had big lines and all, but the place was nice and everything. I mean, I wanted to take home the hockey rink table that they had there, but,
Well, yeah, shout out to Tim Horton. Tim Horton used to be a Penguin, rest in peace.
Yeah, I read about that, yeah. I know he's with the Maple Leafs and your boys, and I think with Buffalo and he died when he was playing for Buffalo, I think, so.
Yeah, a car crash, I think.
Yeah.
But, all these food talks, like, whoever, speaking of food talk, like, whoever watched TSN versions of, like, the CFL games, certain these restaurants up there, like, I already wrote down, like, I'm going to go to these places, like Montana's and Harvey's.
Yep.
Like, Montana's have a commercial, like, all you can eat ribs for, like, $20. I'm like, oh, get me in there.
Well, when we went last year, we stopped at a rest stop, and it was like they had a lot of like those little restaurants there, and it was kind of like thinking, damn, is this a rest stop, or are these like the dasher boards for a Maple Leafs game or something? Because I saw like Boston Pizza and of course Tim Hortons, and then like they had like the Keg, and they had like all like the one the little places in this place that looked like kind of like a railroad depot or something. But all right, okay. Actually, let's talk about some football, man. I mean,
let's talk some football.
All right. Okay, so before we get to the picks, are there any news items that you have that you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, the poor Red Blacks. They are just crawling from straws right now, and unfortunately, they relieve Will Fields his duty, and Will Fields, if you don't know, is the defensive. Actually, he's the special team. He's a special team coordinator, and actually, no, I'm sorry, guys. He's defensive coordinator. So he got fired, and Nate Taylor will take over that as the special team coordinator too. So they trying to shake things up again in Ottawa. They're trying to find themselves a win because Friday night was putrid. And then they also released Geno Lewis. So Geno Lewis is he's a solid veteran wide receiver, and I don't know, he was dropping balls left and right. He probably said something to the coach, and he probably got released right there and then. So if any of the other 8 teams who still have a playoff shot, and you feel like you need another wide receiver, Geno Lewis is out and about, and he'll be a good guy for you to pick up. So
all right.
Get him. So,
okay.
So, what else is news here? Darnell Sankey, he was fined for action week 8. He did something like I forgot what he did. Sankey, he did a high hit on Chad Kelly. That was 2 weeks ago. So, and they finally they finally gonna give him fines for that. That was a pretty nasty hit on Chad Kelly. He got hurt from that. So.
Oh, was that? Yeah, that was the one where it was him and another player. They kind of hit him while he was sliding down.
Yeah. And they also had. Wow, they also had other stuff on here. He's like, per CFL policy, the league does not announce. He had amount of player fines, discipline related to dress code violation, involving teams or staff, and discipline involving players who have been released. So he is again the hard hand of the law.
Right. Well, you mentioned Chad Kelly. I saw that there was a trade involved between the Argos and your Tiger Cats that might be protection for him. Looks like we have Chris Kalinowski, the offensive lineman. He went to the Argos, and Hamilton gets in return a 6th-round draft pick for next year. So, I don't know. What do you think of that trade?
I think that's a good pick up for you. Kalinowski's a veteran O-line. I remember him used to play for the Blue Bombers. I remember when the glory days a couple of years ago. Kalinowski was part of the big deal, so who knows? And Toronto's in the thick of things, and they're in the playoffs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good move for y'all. I can't believe that this inside trading against rivals is insane to me. But,
right.
But it's all good.
Yeah, and I don't know, you and I spoke about this off the air, and I wanted to ask your feelings on it since, again, I've mentioned in other episodes, this is really my second full season following the CFL, first season covering it, but, after, 30 years, after not watching it for almost, 30 years or so, is that a regular occurrence? Granted, I know we only have, 9 teams in the league, but,
I feel like it's a regular occurrence. Now, do I like it? No, but I think there's a lot about it. Ottawa do a lot of times. They're horning up draft picks from. They just give rid of players last couple of years to get draft picks left and right to rival teams like Montreal and Toronto and Hamilton and stuff like that. It's regular, but. Honestly, it's your rival and you're going head-to-head. I think a little bit too much about that. That's personally, I don't think Saskatchewan will make a deal with Winnipeg. I'll tell you that.
No. Yeah, especially after the last 2 games. Good gosh. And we'll definitely go to them, so.
I feel like Hamilton need to get a quarterback, unfortunately. I know they're now go back to American and stuff. Will Levis haven't played football in 2 years. Maybe you need to give him a call. So this is I'm just drawing out some names for y'all.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, and then I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah. We have the tally up for that Edmonton game. It was 31,000 people went to that game. So good job, Edmonton, and good job, Riders Nation, to go to this game and try to fill this up.
Fantastic. Like you said on the Facebook group, they finally listened to us. All 5 listeners listened to us and told everybody else in Edmonton.
And then to the great people of Edmonton, thank you for going to these games. And trust me, I know that's a loss, it's a heartbreaking loss and all that, but keep coming to this game. This is a very special team. And like I say, who knows? They might make it to. They might win the West, and we want to see a full Commonwealth when the West Finals happening. So keep doing what you got to do, and they appreciate this. So yeah, good job.
Right. Okay. Well, without further ado, then Phil, let's go into the picks from last week, from week 9. See, this was not a good week for either of us, bro.
No. I took a lot of chances on a couple, so.
All right. Well, the first game, it looked like we had BC against Winnipeg. And we both went with Winnipeg, and we were both loser peg because of that, man. BC came up with a victory, though. What do you think of that game, man?
Well, I'll tell you what, that game, it's the tell 2 teams right there. Keldon Salter, the pride of Colorado, This kid, I can't remember him throwing the ball, but the way he ran the ball is what Trey Ford should be looking like. Let's forget about the passes and stuff like that. They had a plan. They're going to say, we're going to run the ball down their throats. And that's exactly what they did. And it was very scary how they ran down their throat. And they know they did not care less about passing. Their game is, okay, let's run. This Xander Horvath, I don't know you're a fullback or whatever he is, but this guy was like a running keg machine. 17 carries, 191 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's insane. And he was just unstoppable. And they also used Horvath as a I don't know what they call these quarterbacks. Those short game quarterbacks.
The short yardage quarterbacks. So basically, it's the backups that's tall enough to stretch across the goal line, more or less, I guess.
So they used him, and he just ran over all these people. Salter, he looked like he can run the ball. He was commanding the game, and it was just. And Keon Hatcher, he's one of the best in the league. He contributed by blocking. He made a pass and a 2-point conversion pass, and then they did whatever it takes to win this game. And that was a very effort game. Now let's go to the other coin of this. Winnipeg. Oh my gosh, some reason this is how they do it. Winnipeg was looking good in the first 3 quarters, and they had a game plan. They would say, all right, let's give Brady over the ball. And he was running the ball. And some reason, I don't know what they got rid of. It was like second quarter or third quarter, they got away with it. Winnipeg could have had a chance to blow this team out. And some reason, they was doing short quarterbacks things at the second and 5. I'm like, just go throw it down the middle. You got these receivers. It was insane. This big problem is Drew Brown got hurt, but Drew Brown didn't look good anyway. I know 18-21, 180, and a touchdown is not bad, but he looked bad. And Taylor Elsma looked bad. He had 1 for 4. And this team, direction's going down for this team, and they look old. And I hate to say it, it's like this is the end of the era for this team. And guys and I hate to say, guys like Moxie and Jefferson and Nick Dempsey, guys just look super old, man. And it's just I don't know. Maybe next year they might need a rebuild, or it might be the end of the era for these guys. They look 25 points in the 4th quarter. That's unacceptable for any team. Right. And Winnipeg was winning this game, man. That's what happened. 25 was everyone just look it up. 25. They scored 25 points and 3. It was just.
Well, yeah, you're right. Calgary broke out late, especially with Horvath, as you mentioned. I even joked in one of our groups. I said, okay, Horvath, he can stop running now. Because it seemed like they couldn't stop him, from 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter on. It's like he had his back-to-back touchdowns, and I was like, man.
Yeah. And Keaton Salter, and he was helping the cause by running the ball. And the offensive line, shout out for them for those, they just demand the line right there, and that's how they do it. Maybe that's how they got to win these games until Nathan Rourke come back and just pound the rock. Then they can't pound the rock no more. It sucks because James Butler is their top guy, and he's gonna be out for a couple of weeks. So, but maybe I might throw it out there. Maybe a running back controversy going on there. So
be interesting to see. But God, with their offense, they're throwing the ball like crazy. If they can get the running game too, man, they might be pretty dangerous down the stretch. So
yeah, and that's one of the teams, and I think I think that's their new way to game to play. Is they're gonna run, run, run. If you stop the run, BC you can beat BC pretty easily. But
right.
if you can't stop the run, that's just like in sports. You can't stop the run, and you ain't gonna win the game.
True.
So that's
True.
how it goes.
All right. Then we had Montreal traveling to Ottawa. Ottawa. We had our friend last week who predicted, he asked us, so how do you think Ottawa's going to win? And I'm like, well, I love you. I mean, but if you know it was Robbie Amory from last week. If you know Robbie or you know any Ottawa fan, give him a hug, all right? If you're an Ottawa fan yourself, if I could give you a hug right now, I would. So it's like, man, that poor team.
I need a hug for picking them.
Yeah, that's true.
And the sad thing is they hang in there in the first half. Like they was in there, but like I say, it's like Montreal's is a juggernaut of a team. And I tell you what, and something about this team is like if they win the Grey Cup, and as Hamilton, I hope not. But
right.
If they win the Grey Cup, this might be one of the greats, And this team have a fiery quarterback willing to win. You got a running back, and all he do is make first downs. And you probably got one of the best wide receiver in the game. And you better get used to him. You better love him, because I put any money he's gonna leave. And I think Philpott and Snead is just amazing together, and Alexander know how to throw it to them. And there's so many other guys on this team I forgot the name of, Hollins and Speaker
and Teague,
Ferdinand, and this defense is just relentless too. Like it's just like Cantu Arku is just amazing. I think he's Robert Kennedy the third, RFK. This guy is a great defensive back. I think he's leading the league in interception and tackles. I think he's one of the good guys right there. Tyrese Bever, he's the veteran linebacker and all that stuff. They did what they had to do, and they did not hold up punches. The defense put them in a shame in the second half. Like, I saw this at a bar, and Ottawa had nothing. They got nothing. They was polarizing wide receivers. They was intercepting the ball. They was hitting them hard, and it was like, I hate to say that, no, excuse my language, it looked like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Right.
And Ottawa, I feel bad for this team. Ottawa, they got some good players, but they're running out of ideas. They don't know what it is. It's like the Detroit Lions in the mid-2000s. This is where someone told me about this, and I scoff at this. It's a possibility this team might go 0-18.
And of all people coaching him, Dean Whitty, who won Grey Cups recently with Toronto, man. I mean, nobody would have picked him to be winless at this point of the season, dude.
Yeah. And look at all the people they got there on the team. They got Jake Meyer. They got Greg Bell. He's underperforming. Justin Hardy. I feel bad about Hardy because Hardy was just getting hit left and right. Eberhardt is good. Pimpleton, we didn't even talk about Khalil Pimpleton. Pimpleton used to be the man in Montgomery. Keelan White was supposed to be their baby, and he hardly did a thing. Even though he got 8 receptions, but still he didn't do anything. Geno Lewis, when they just released, he didn't do anything. It just all these guys, and even defense. They got C.J. Reeves. They got Demario Houston. They got all these guys. A.J. Allen. These is guys who actually win Grey Cups and was all pros, and then now they have to settle this, and it sucks. And they are. That's a good crowd there. It was a good crowd. It was over 25,000 people at that game. Shout out to the Ottawa Red Black fans. I know that feeling because I'm a Pirate fan in baseball, and I wore the brown bags myself too. So who knows? So I hope they win a game. You know, hope not against my Hamilton, but anything's possible. You know.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. That's what's scary about Ottawa, or any team that goes on like a losing streak like this, or a winless streak like this. When you see them on the schedule, you're kind of like hoping that they beat somebody before they get to you. And it's late in the season. You don't want to be that team that loses to the previous winless team. You know, I mean, I don't care who you are. But
oh, no. Yeah, that's for all sports. Like, you don't want to lose to that team, but I guarantee you, like, this team is still fighting hard and stuff like that. But and let's go back to Montreal. The way Philpott plays, like Tyson Philpott is just amazing how he plays. And I see him grab the ball up in the air with contested, in the words of Mike Tomlin, combative plays. Like, this guy is so combative to where he catches these balls. It's insane. And it's ridiculous that not one NFL team even give him a freaking trial. Him and his brother. And this team is like, this guy's so good, you know? And,
right.
And now, is he the best wide receiver? As of right now, yes. He's up there with the Kenny Lawlers and the Keon Hatters and, yeah, Taylor Philpott. But this guy was amazing. And David Alexander, he's just, what a moxie this guy is. Like, this guy, what he won? He's 13-1 in his first 14 starts. Like, that's totally insane, you know?
And I think his only loss was on the road, right? Because I think he's undefeated at home, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, it's against Edmonton, and they could have won that game, you know? And we'll talk about that game next week. We'll talk about that game after we do our thing. That's going to be an epic game.
Oh, yeah, that's going to definitely looking forward to it.
And like the way David Alexander, like I say, if he's healthy, like the way they're blocking and protecting him, I think they're going to preserve him. And who knows? I think they might win the East Division very early. Like maybe wrap this up in during Canada Day weekend, and maybe they can rest Alexandra and Philpott, and none of them get hurt. So who knows? Like it seemed like it's an easy road for Montreal to have a home game in the playoffs, and it'll be a dogfight. Now, I'm telling you what, if Toronto and Hamilton play the first Easter semifinal game, I don't know. Maybe you might make a road trip up. You know?
That might be fun, but see what we can do about that. One more thing I want to mention about Montreal, because to me, Bill, they're like the most complete team in the league. Because I mean, we mentioned their offense, we mentioned their defense, special teams. Maltos Diaz, that guy is clutch. I mean, he may be, if he's not the most accurate kicker in the league, he's damn close. He's
Maltos Diaz, like him and Castillo from Winnipeg. If I know Castillo's playing, and I know Maltos Diaz playing, I know they're gonna kick. And shout out to them, man. They're just whenever they make it, they'll make it, you know. And like I said, this true man. If I know they'll give out special team one, I think Maltos Diaz should be definitely number one on the list, you know.
No doubt. Well, you mentioned as far as you needing a hug because you lost. That's the only win that I got this week, picking Montreal.
Wow.
But yeah, only one. And then we're going to get to Calgary at Hamilton.
Cool.
Man, you talked me into I was debating between Calgary and Hamilton because I was thinking, all right, Calgary, they got, I don't know, they got some power, but Hamilton's got a good defense. Hamilton's playing at home. Hamilton needs this game, and they did hang with them until late in the game. But, boy, what happened?
Oh well, there's a lot of things happen, and like I say, he and Calgary even really had to do anything with offense. I think their defense showed up on that, but you look at the things, you look at the stats like Bert Evans really didn't have to do much that game. He only had 252 yards. Dietrich Mills only had 44 yards. You know, Brissett looked good. You know, obviously ex-Argo and all the whatnots, but it's the stupid plays by Hamilton, and it's like the meltdown of this team is insane. Like, once again, they scored 24 points, and we only have one Rouge, and Trey Ford isn't your guy, and I root for Trey Ford, and I really like Trey Ford, and I really think Trey Ford. I think the Lord telling him he should not be a quarterback. He should be a running back instead,
right?
Or maybe a short down quarterback, because he's a detriment to this team. And I don't know if Bo Levi's going to come back this season or not. Probably not. Harrison Frost, he didn't even look good either, but he's more ideal quarterback than Trey Ford. And
he did have one good touchdown throw to I think it was to Lawler, and in fact the announcers were calling him Frosty the Throw Man, and it's like, okay, back up. It's like, calm down.
Yeah. He looked like, and then after that, he looked like Frosty the Snowman when he was in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
You know?
Got a hold of the heat miser. Got a hold of him. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. And this team, and I feel bad for Hamilton fans because it was a big weekend for them because it was the whiteout game and everyone's wearing white and you get a free promotion and blah 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 blah. So it was just like, my thing is, what Milanovic going to do with quarterback situation? And I get it, Trey Ford, and we had an argument through my Facebook page during Tiger Cat 24/7. It's like, oh, is Trey Ford really a guy? Like, I think they should look out. I think they should look somewhere else for quarterback. And I maybe had to go down to America to get another quarterback. There's a lot of quarterbacks that sit at home, haven't played for years, and I wouldn't be surprised if you can give them a chance to play. There's a lot of people up in Canada that can try to make a deal to get a guy over because the East is wide open. And if we can start winning again, we can win a couple games here and there.
Right.
So the thing is, and how this, and then we'll go back to Calgary. Calgary is that was a big win for Calgary, and Calgary is now back in the mix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Calgary's like the boogeyman. You can't kill it.
No.
And right now, Calgary, 2 weeks ago, Calgary was in last place. Now they're in third place. And now they're climbing up that wall. They might catch Saskatchewan. They might catch Edmonton. Who knows?
And they have better records than most of the East teams. They have, right now, better than Toronto, but we'll talk about that later. Better than you guys, and definitely better than Ottawa. So they might be the team that leapfrogs over. But
yeah, and that's the thing. And Winnipeg looks like it's on the decline, and Calgary is on the upcline. And this team is ready to roll. And I really think that Calgary, and then they say Calgary stay in the east side because they got a game in Toronto on Thursday, so they practice in Hamilton all week.
Oh,
so
no
they're
kidding.
adjusting they're adjusting the East Coast situation. So who knows? You know.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I don't blame them for doing that.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the thing and we are looking at the standings right there. The crossover situation is. They don't say anything crossover, but right now the crossover, there will be, honestly, it will be Calgary. Calgary will have a home game in the West, but Winnipeg will have a home game in the East against. Oh no! Wait a minute, I did that wrong. Well, yeah. Calgary will have a game. Calgary will have a home game in the East, and Winnipeg will have Winnipeg will play Saskatchewan. So. Who knows?
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
So,
we'll see.
Like I say, it's just like tell two teams, one's going up and one trending down. So, what to do for Hamilton? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we have these two teams fighting at the top of the mountain. After having, like, the game of the year the week before, Saskatchewan this time is going to Edmonton to play the Elks. And despite the fact that it was more of a defensive game, despite the fact of whatever you believe in, whether it's God or Mother Nature, wanted to mix some things up, still it was a hell of a game. It could have went either way.
Oh man, it's you know how you say wrestling, like the champ fight forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like these two teams need to play forever because these two teams play beautiful against each other. Like how I say, at first, it's all defense in this game, and it's all defense. The first game was all about offense. The second game is about defense, and both of these defenses came up to play. How I say about Big Tommy Stevens, the quarterback. I don't know, he's 6'7" or 6'9", but like I feel like he passed gas to get an inch, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And this guy is like amazing and stuff. And how they did this, how Saskatchewan Roughriders did. Not only they play good defense, they play great special teams. They weathered the crowd. Edmonton scored just like that in the first half, and how the silence the crowd, they ran back like a 80-yard return,
right,
and have a short thing. Trevor Harris didn't play that great, but what it is that the fourth quarter to him, he was Mr. Clutch. Speaking of this Quail Conley, this Quail Conley is amazing.
Yeah.
He did this. And then Quail Conley is a backup running back, and Olad's out for a while with an ankle injury and get well soon, AJ. But the fact is, Quail Conley, this guy is so good. It's not even funny. He did a Saquon Barkley move.
Oh yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, I remember that.
I jumped out of my couch. I feel bad for all my little 5 cats. They all freaked out. I'm like, whoa, what's this? You know, but I tell you what, Quail Conley, he's going to be, if they find a way to get him the ball, he can be a star instantaneously. You know? And, like, they did it. And how they did it, and the defense was hidden. I tell you what, every time Antoine Brooks Jr. and Jameer Derman was tackling, it felt like one of those Ravens Steelers kind of tackle, you know?
Right.
They'll take your soul, you know?
Oh, sure, yeah, hard hitting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, both teams, like you said, both teams are on defense, but Edmonton hung with them. I mean, the game went back and forth. One thing I saw that I really liked, Phil, was with Hamlin. Last 2 or 3 weeks, teams have been stopping him. Now, I guess part of it is because they played Saskatchewan 2 games back to back. But one thing I saw that he started to do with him is instead of just straight up handoffs. They've been doing little side short passes, and he was starting to get some yardage out of that. I was kind of thinking, it's like, why don't they do that with him? And they started doing that, and it seemed like it was starting to work for him.
Who Rankin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Yeah, Rankin, even though it say like he had 8 yards and 28, he only had 8 carries and 28 yards and a touchdown, but he had 2 receptions for 48 yards. I think it's getting better, but it's not getting good. And
well, that was late in the game too. I'm wondering if it was like just some kind of adjustment. They were looking at the tablet or whatever and saying, okay, well, maybe what if we dump it off to him and see what he can do, But
yeah, I think defense now is like, okay, if we can stop Rankin, we're gonna put the hands on Fajaro to beat us. So, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, because Fajaro got some good wide receivers.
I was gonna say a lot of teams. I mean, if you put him up to that, he could beat you. But yeah.
Yeah, but Rankin is, like, we was talking, like a couple weeks ago, we talking about 2,000 yards for him, and now he's just like this guy is like, it's like a baseball player. He's cold. He's like, he had 12 yards 2 weeks ago, he had 30 yards last week, and he had 28 yards this one. That's not even 100 yards.
Yeah. I mean, compared to what he was doing, yes. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
and I feel like let's see, and this defense. Once again, this defense, like this Dario and Jamame, he's going to be rookie of the year in defense. 8 tackles, a sack, and all the whatnots. Cordell Jackson just, even though he got burnt by that one play, but he was pretty good. He shut down Emilius and Shaker Baker, touchdown maker. Tyrell Ford made a sweet interception on that game, on that play, and Tyrell Ford, I kind of wish he'd bring the mojo to his brother Trey Ford, but it's just like this guy is playing elite status of defense, and like it sucks because all these people came to this thing and see them lose, but I feel like Saskatchewan, it was a must win for Saskatchewan in this game, because if they would have lose this game, they'll be 1 game back of Calgary and Winnipeg, and you're in okay, we got to win. You really got to win now, but you know what I mean, like, yeah, you got to play. You don't want to get sidetracked by Calgary and Winnipeg. So
no. Yeah, it looks like we're in for another wild, wild west. But
yeah.
And shout out.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait down the road where the Saskatchewan Winnipeg rivalry picked up. That's gonna be around like August and September, and yeah, that's blood war right there.
I'm just reading these comments. Oh my God, some of the chirps going back and forth with those teams. I mean, the Riders fans are relentless on Winnipeg right now. Good God. But
and the crazy thing is, like, vice versa. Like, Winnipeg fans chirping on and stuff like that. We had to ban one of those fans there, calling someone an idiot. And I'm like, nah, we can't do that. Now you can trash talk, but name calling is insane, man. Like, now I know this rivalry is blood war right there.
Yeah.
So it's like, Riders, they're fired up. They won their Grey Cup and all the whatnot, and now they still in the midst of winning this Grey Cup too. So, who knows?
I wish somehow this could wind up as a Grey Cup, but it probably won't. I mean, in the same division and all that. But man, oh man! And shout out to them for giving you a win. So,
thank you. And it sucks because they had to wait all the way to the end of the last game of the year to play each other again. So, who knows that? Like, I don't know if that game will matter or not, but I hope this team plays in the Western Finals, and that's the game. And then I'm telling these people this, and like I say, I tell everyone this, that if I want to show a game this year, if I show two teams to play each other, that will be the two teams I want to show.
Right.
You know, because they play beautiful against each other. Hell, I think I might show them Montreal versus Edmonton because they play beautiful against each other too. So.
Yep,
you know.
and they're playing next week when we'll get to that. Holy hell, that's gonna be something to see. So okay, so before we get to next week's picks, let's go see how we did on this week's picks. I even made a comment. I posted our last episode said, okay, all right, folks, go and click on laugh at how bad Phil and I did on our picks. And this week we were both 1-3, Phil. And going into it, we were tied at 14-12. With the 1-3, we're tied again. Not only are we tied again, we're both at 500. We're 15-15 now.
Halfway to the season, and we're back to 0-0.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's insane. I love it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that's why it's so tough about this CFL. I tell people this: we don't pick just to pick. This is one of the hardest things to pick because we can say, okay, Saskatchewan, okay, they're going to destroy Ottawa. Well, who knows? Ottawa will just wake up and say, all right, we're just going to destroy you,
I keep, as bad as they played, I keep thinking, Phil, they're going to get a win some way, somehow.
And they're going to at least suspect, like, they're going to do something crazy, like they'll go to Saskatchewan and win, which ain't going to happen, but...
I mean, from what you were saying earlier about Montreal, if they rest their, it wouldn't surprise me if they went to Montreal and got a W. I mean,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hell, it wouldn't surprise me they played my Argos and got a W. So I mean,
Oh yeah, and once again, in the bye. Speaking of Argos, they got a bye. They had a bye week, and pretty much they packing all their stuff to BMO. So.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're even doing a thing of an all-you-can-eat special. I'm not sure what that entails, whether it's just one section, whether it's just popcorn and nachos, or you can throw in hot dogs or pizza in there too. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like I might get some dinner there if I were up there. So.
I'm motivated by food. I might I'm not gonna give up my Hamilton stuff, but I'll definitely get that food thing.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, I saw a travel video about Hamilton. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to. Even if they have a disappointing season, and it's like Hamilton's third string against Montreal resting people too. It's like I know they were reviewing their hot dogs and their poutine the Tiger. I told you the Tiger Cats have their own beer. I'm going to try to see if I can go to a liquor store, bring some of that back over the border. That's pretty tasty, but.
Put it in your trunk,
Yeah. No, we'll do it right. We'll leave it for customs, but I mean, I lucked out with that last year. I told you about that. But.
Yeah. Ain't like someone talk about Montreal. Ain't like you told me this like off the air. Someone bad mouthing Montreal Molson Stadium, something like that.
Yeah, basically you're saying it's kind of like an old college stadium because a lot of the seats are on bleachers. He said parking's kind of poor there, and I don't know. It seemed like they had like a lot of sideline seats and stuff like that. And he said there's like one fan he actually has a partial season ticket plan for Montreal, even though he lives in New Jersey and he's disabled. He goes to games in a wheelchair. He would still go to like other sporting events and all, but he said for him it was kind of like tough. So it's like. Yeah.
The way I see it, and I talked to one other person who actually got a season ticket in Ottawa, and I just think I like that charm of that stadium. Mm-hmm. I know we call it Hog Work U, but I like the charm of it. I like it is a legitimate home field advantage, and I think like during like the early 2010s, like during the Calvillo years. I think like they broke a record, like the most consecutive sellout games
Nice.
But like I say, I liked it. I don't know. I've never been in there. I never put my 5 cents, but I've been to Olympic Stadium for Expos games, and I feel like it was bland and dead, personally.
Right.
But I feel like it's more vibrant. I feel like it's a college field, and I feel like the whole crowd. It's kind of like the Coliseum in LA, like the whole crowd's over you,
Right.
and all that stuff. I like that, and I feel like they got the home field advantage with the little horns and all that stuff. Yeah. I hate the horns, but it's all
Well, I
good.
know, it's like NFL games, it's like he banned horns and he banned those cowbells, but it's like in CFL games, that's all you hear, it's horns and cowbells. It's like, I don't know, it's like the Saturday Night Live thing with Christopher Walken. We need more cowbell! We need more Super Solo!
And it also sucks that they never going to have they would never have a Grey Cup game there, and if they ever have a Grey Cup game in Montreal, it's going to be at Olympic Stadium.
Right.
Simple step. We already know Olympic Stadium's ready to go. It's just the last time I heard about Olympic Stadium, they just put that new roof in, and it's still they don't know what to do with it. It sucks because I really think Montreal should have a Grey Cup game, and I think Montreal's a very good city. So.
And they're probably kicking themselves in the butt for they weren't able to host any Grey Cup games there. Not Grey Cup, World Cup games there. So I know we talk. Probably for CFL fans that's a good thing because in Montreal would have to play like home games at Saskatchewan like the Argos did. But I don't know. It's
and that's the thing. Like if they would have, here's my thing. We're gonna go back to that Grey Cup. We'll go back to CFL 1 second of that. And I was shocked they did not use the other stadiums for the Grey Cup. Like I know Winnipeg and Regina is not a big city, but I honestly think they got the third, fourth best stadiums. Second and third best stadiums in Canada, personally. I don't know how they did not have a World Cup game there. It baffled me. For one thing, but I don't know.
It could be infrastructure too, not just the stadium. Because Baltimore has hosted like soccer friendlies and CONCACAF matches, and they would sell that 67,000. But I don't think Baltimore has enough like hotels or conventions or other amenities that a lot of other cities do. And public transportation is you've been to there for Ravens Steelers games. It's pretty poor, but
and then now the soccer thing, they had to elevate the field for soccer, and that's kind of crazy because I did a tour of the Aerosmith Stadium in Kansas City. They say, the Grey Cup is coming. When the Grey Cup comes, we got to elevate the field for soccer situations, stuff like that. So,
right.
I don't know. So, yeah.
All right. Okay, well, let's head into Week 11 with these games coming up, and we have some interesting matchups. We have the very first game on Thursday. I keep interrupting you with this, Phil. I apologize. What channels will this game be on? Calgary versus Toronto.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. You're good. Look at that. I wasn't even set up on it. All right, Week 10. We're going to be on 7:30 on TSN and RDS up in Canada and CFL Plus in America. So.
All right. Yeah. And with that, go ahead, Phil. I'm sorry.
Sorry again. Once again, Calgary is back at Toronto again, and Calgary's spent the whole week in the East. And once again, from a Hamilton fan to you as an Argo fan, and I'm going to do like this for Edmonton. Hey, Toronto, you got a beautiful city, you got a beautiful stadium, you got beautiful colors, you got one of the best colors I ever seen, but he's still the Argonauts. But here's what you need to do. This team won many Grey Cups. They won a couple of Grey Cups, and this team it's in to come back home.
Right.
And now it's your duty to make this a home field advantage game. And you know what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say like to the Edmonton, hey Toronto fans, you're the biggest city, you're one of the biggest cities in North America. Get your ass to the game, please.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I couldn't agree more. And on top of that, they're feeding y'all. They have all-you-can-eat ticket packages. Go to their website and find that out, folks. Argos aren't giving us any money yet, but I would gladly take it if they did. But
and they get a free, well, it's like the first 15,000 people get a free replica soccer Argos sweater jersey. You know
yeah, it's supposed to be like it's supposed to look like the old sweater that there was a picture in a press conference with John Candy and Wayne Gretzky where it had like that old school 80s, early 90s script like you used to see like on the corduroy hats and stuff like that. They had a sweater, but then the giveaway, they're making it more like a mesh jersey, and they even have like this round logo on it. I don't know if it's for John Candy or what, but it looks like a soccer jersey, so I don't know. But and it was weird they had red in it. It's like red, white, and blue. It looked more like something from Montreal than it would for Toronto. I don't know.
Yeah, it got me. It's a weird jersey. It's a weird sweater. So anyway, we'll get to the game of this. I really think Calgary is a good team. And Calgary is on high cylinder, but Toronto's is also on high cylinder. They won that game in BC and also have a week off. Now I got a question. Did they say anything about Chad Kelly? Is he practicing last week?
I haven't heard anything, but I haven't heard anything that he's not. So I mean, last week I heard that X-rays were negative and they expected him to practice and play, but that could be just showmanship against Calgary, whether they're playing for him or Arbuckle. But yeah, I haven't heard anything either way.
Like I say, the key to winning this game is one, you gotta find a way. You gotta make Vernon Adams angry, and you gotta make him all flustered. And you gotta find a way to get turnovers off of him. Chad Kelly, like I say, Chad Kelly needs to trust his guys around him, which he usually do. You got a good wide receiver core with Unger the Dirt. You got Polk. You got Mattel. You got a running back. I got his name right now, but he's hit and miss. And his defense in Toronto, like, hey, you're back home. You hear the Argos pride, and you can do this. And I think, honestly, this is gonna be a good game. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, and Toronto, just remember what they did to you in Calgary last month. And
yeah.
I think that they will get their revenge, and I think Toronto will win.
Interesting. Okay. Well, you know what, Bill? Here's my thing. In my heart, I want to pick Toronto. I want to say that, all right, Toronto's going to sell out, and all the Argomaniacs are going to train hard, say their prayers, and give the Argonauts a victory. Every year, I'm going to have to double check our picks, but I think every time I pick Toronto, they've lost. Every time I picked against Toronto, they've won. So it's kind of like my heart's with you, Toronto, but I don't know, Calgary, man, you might be able to stop them in the first half. A lot of teams have, but it seems like they go bananas in the second half, and they've had issues with the defense. They hung with them in the Chad Kelly game, but then Calgary just went crazy and dropped a 50 burger on them, almost a 60 burger because it was 58 points. Oy vey.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I am going to go with the Stamps, but I will gladly sacrifice a pick this week to help the Argos. I'm going to pull a reverse Danhausen on this, so I wanted to uncurse the Argos. And before we go any further, Phil, this is a song that I should have played a few weeks ago. Hang on. Hopefully. All right, go Argos, go, go, go. All right.
Oh man.
You're in my double blue heart, but I want to get out of this 500, so we have to be opposite on some picks, man. So
you got to, man. And hopefully the Argos and their fans will show up to play. And TSN, I know the camera angles, but maybe switch it up, show the other side of it, because I guarantee you the non-camera side, a lot of people's at that game. So check it out. So yeah, go to the game. I don't think the Blue Jays playing Thursday night. Just go to the game.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun time. It's a good time, and it starts at 7:30, so you'll be home by 11 o'clock,
right.
Give and take. So
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I drove through there at night though, Bill. I don't know. People in Toronto, you can comment whether or not. It's like when I went there, I had to take public transportation because it was just driving there, and they kind of have a lot of parking because it's in that exhibition loop area. But I don't know. It might be tough getting in and out of there, but in a way, I hope it is because that means people are going to the game. So
yeah, so. Yeah, hopefully, that's the thing,
Yeah. But, yeah, you're right. Show the right camera angles, unless Kate Burness has, like, breaking news, I can watch that for a little bit, and then, then I'll be like, all right, get back to the game, but, I can wait. But, yeah, all right. Yeah, get myself in trouble, as always. All right, there we go.
Oh, I feel all good.
All right. All right, then we have our next game. Oh, my God. Port of Ottawa, against Saskatchewan. Oy vey.
Oh, God. So, Ottawa. This would be the type of the game. This would be the type of the game that Ottawa will, show up and play their best game, That's just how the CFL works. How to beat this team... How to beat Saskatchewan is pretty much how you got to do. You got first of all, your young offensive line. You got to find Meyer and do not get sacked. Do not get pressure. Let Meyer find Eberhard and find Hardy and Greg Bell. Where are you? Come back to earth, please, and help your team. They're 0-7. And I'll tell you Ottawa this, and I'll give them a little pep talk to this. You're playing house money. Everyone thinks you're losing to Saskatchewan. Just let it out. Just go free with this. And who knows? Who knows? And if you do win this game, and if Hamilton lose, or if Toronto lose, you're only 2 games behind these guys. You can actually contest these guys if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
But honestly, as my heart, and I ain't gonna critique, and I ain't gonna get any game. I hate to say this, I think Saskatchewan are gonna destroy this team, and unfortunately, I think Saskatchewan might put 50 on this team.
Oh my goodness, yeah. All right. I said I didn't want to. I know we're tied into our picks and all that, but. God, there's no way. I want to say this will be the trap game that Ottawa wins, but man, you gotta assume you can win at least one. At least one. I don't see it happening this week. So.
Yeah, and they're on the Midwest trip, and they say they're gonna stay in Saskatchewan for the whole week. So they gotta go to Winnipeg next week. So.
Oh man. Although I don't know, the way Winnipeg's playing, Ottawa might actually have a shot, believe it or not. But I don't know.
And I think it'll be a lot closer to this, but I think Saskatchewan find their way to wins. They didn't have to use the quarterback, wide receivers, and running back. They used defense. It's just pure nasty defense. Now. Saskatchewan will be all battered and bruised against Edmonton because that was a war match against them, but who knows?
Right.
So Saskatchewan big time. Ottawa, I'm rooting for y'all, but Saskatchewan gonna mull over this team.
Now, the next two matchups are interesting. One, just overall, as far as actual CFL logic, what's going on. The other is just for our personal reasons. We'll get to the Edmonton versus Montreal. That should be. I'd be surprised if it's not game of the week, Bill. Good God.
As a preview, might be a preview of Grey Cup too.
True.
I forgot about the Saskatchewan one. Saskatchewan is going to be 9 o'clock Friday. TSN, RDS Canada, and unfortunately it'll be on cable on CBS Sports Network in the United States. So yeah, sorry about that. And the Edmonton game is 3 o'clock. It's on 3 different types of Canadian TV: TSN, RDS, and CTV. And then unfortunately it'll be on CFL Plus in the States.
Right.
So, what you think about this game? Lay it on me.
Kind of tough. I mean, Edmonton's definitely the Cinderella story. Montreal, I think Edmonton, a lot of Edmonton's strengths, I think Montreal has them and slightly better. I mean, we thought Edmonton had a good offense until, and it could just be the two matchups they had against Saskatchewan. But Rankin, he looked like he was going to be running back, most valuable player, and then, I don't know, then teams found ways to stop him. Montreal's got so many weapons. In offense, they have a smothering defense, and their special teams. Edmonton's got a hell of a defense. Their offense looks pretty well. I think it'll be a close game, but they're playing at Hogwarts. I don't know. I'm going to go with Montreal on this one.
Yeah. Back to Hogwarts, you and Montreal. I just think there's two teams. I hope they play each other in a Grey Cup, and these two teams is just amazing when they play. Coach Killiam is just like he teaching the toughness of Edmonton, which the Edmonton never had since 2015, and the way they had to do this, they had to find a way to get. Once again, I say this is how they lost the game last week. They had to find a way to get Rankin the ball. They had to find a way. They got to find a way to get Rankin going. And yeah, they win the games, a couple of those games, but they're gonna catch up on Fedaro. And if Rankin ain't gonna be there, Edmonton might lose a couple more games. But honestly, this is going to be an epic game. This is going to be an epic battle. Edmonton lost, but they're going to try their best to win this game. So Montreal. If no one get hurt, they're just going to walk in. They're going to waft their way in the Grey Cup game. I just think the Philpott Alexander duo is insane. Travis Deese is now looking like Justin Rankin himself.
Right.
I just think this is going to be a good game. I just think Montreal is going to win this game. It's going to be a very good game, and please check this out. It's 3 o'clock. Find some way to watch this game, and I think this is going to be a hell of a game. So, and the last time they played went to overtime, and that was an epic game in the rain. So it was pretty good left-right game, and yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a game, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I can't wait either. And like I agree with you about needing to get Rankin involved, and like I said in the last game, when I saw glimpses of against Saskatchewan, I want to see them do that with Montreal. Just think and dunk it to him. Just throw these little outside passes, and if he can get free, I think that's where he'll get his yards. And it's like, and I know we talk about sometimes people playing fantasy. I want to get into a league next year with that, but I don't know if they have PPR, pass per reception. If they do, I think, and if you have Rankin and you're in a league like that, I think Rankin could do that for you this week. I would not surprise me, but.
Yeah, definitely. And next year, I'm definitely going to get into the CFL fantasy, definitely for sure. And
right.
Who knows? I just think this is a hell of a team, this Edmonton team, and this is going to be a pretty big week for them because Calgary's in the lurch to them, and Calgary's in the lurch to them, and if Saskatchewan lose, they'll be back in first place. So this is pretty much a crucial game to win, and this definitely could be a season-changing win if they go in Montreal and win. They did last year. They won in Montreal last year, so who knows, you know?
Yeah, I mean, stranger things is happening, especially, I mean, this year. I mean, and like Edmonton, they kind of like snuck in and won some games, but this year, they improved vastly, and, you know, I think this will be a good game, and like you said, it could be a preview of a Grey Cup. Now, speaking of previews of Grey Cup, these were our picks for the doggone Grey Cup. Hamilton at BC. How's that working out for us now, Phil?
I got a sound for that, you know, and hold on a second. I hope you hear this. That's our picks. You know?
Stay away from the iceberg lettuce, Canada.
Yeah, you know, that's our picks. It went down the toilet, and Hamilton may be salvageable. I brought 20 preachers to pray for both Levi's ankles and whatnot. And the sad thing about these games, if one of these teams win, they might be back in the mix. So who knows? And once again, this game, 7 o'clock Eastern time, is 4 o'clock over there on TSN, and America, we can watch this on CBS Sports Network. Well, go to your bars and beg your bartender to turn this game on. So, Hamilton, oh God. I don't know who's going to be the starter this week. I hope Harrison Frost will be. If I was Milanovich, get Harrison Frost in there. And then Harrison Frost, the first thing you need to do, I don't care if it's an interception, incomplete, or over your head, you tell Keandre Smith, you tell Kenny Lawler, go out deep, and I'm throwing it 60 yards down the field, and I hope you're over there getting the ball. And that will send a message to BC and blah, blah, blah. Now, Winton McManus, you're the big bad wolf from the Argonauts. You come to Toronto, you come to Hamilton, you can be the big bad wolf from Hamilton. But you're going to BC, and I'm telling you like this, if I was this team, I'd put 9 in the box. Because they ain't going to throw the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. If you can play good defense to this team, you have it'll be no question in mind you can beat this team. But the fact is, it's all about quarterback play and offense play. And let me tell you something. Sometimes you need to throw caution from the wind, and you just need to just throw the ball and trust your talents. And I feel like they did not do that last week. They were so scared about throwing the ball because Trey Ford can't throw the ball. Be creative. Hell, flea flickers. Hey, put Trey Ford in the game with Frost. Who knows? You know, like, do what you have to do to get Lawler and Smith the ball. And this is me as a Tiger Guy fan, and I'm going biased here. I'm getting motivated, getting passionate right there. I just want them to, hey, let's get this win so we can be 4-5, and next week we got Saskatchewan, and who knows, you can't win in that game. You know, but I want to take Hamilton to this game because it's going to be I think Hamilton's going to win this game. It'll be a very ugly game, and I'm seeing like it'll be a typical Pittsburgh Steelers game, like 18-16 kind of game. And I think this is going to be points going to be tough to hard to find. So I think 18-16 will do it. All you got to do is stop the run. And as simple as that, stop the run.
Yeah, well, it's easier for us because, we're in our 40s and 50s, just saying it on a YouTube channel, but, I mean, I won't speak for you. For me, I can donate my body to science fiction like Rodney Dangerfield used to say, but, oh, man. I agree. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's like, basically, I joke and I call it the CFL cat fight, between the Tiger Cats and the Lions. I think it's going to be like 2 stray cats. You give them catnip for the first time, they're going to be stoned out of their mind, and they're not going to move for a while. I think this game's going to be a lot like that, man. So, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't think BC would be able to beat Winnipeg last week either. So maybe, just maybe, they can just scrape up just enough offense to beat Hamilton, and Hamilton does have a good defense, but maybe they can score off of like some turnovers and stuff, which is I think what killed Hamilton last week and a few other games. So I'm gonna go with they're not the British Columbia Lions. They're the Baltimore Combine Lions because I saw them at Stevenson University. I'm gonna get some passes from them next year. So I'm going with the BC Lions.
Yeah, and I feel like BC, if they can win this game, they got a big game against Calgary Thursday night. So this, like I say, like next week is, except for Ottawa, I think next week is like do or die for all these teams. And I feel like that's going to be a good game against BC. And I feel like this Salter guy is the answer to Rourke. And what's the deal with Rourke? Is he still out for the cause, or?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either way, so I'm guessing he's still out. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at the injury right now. Just saying, I just look at right now. Chad Kelly's full, and they don't say anything about BC yet, but they look like Chad Kelly's playing, so
right.
So all that. So yeah, that's our picks, and yeah, hopefully I get them right.
Yeah. Hopefully we both do, and it's like I don't know. We're in agreement on 2 out of the 4, so I don't know. We might wind up tying it again, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Great minds think alike, I guess. Even though.
Oh yeah, and then we got the question in our mailbag, right? You remember that?
Yeah, we talked about it off the air. Yeah, why don't you refresh memory and mention the name of the gentleman? Sure.
Oh yeah, let me find this out for y'all. And my bad, I got a lot of millions of texts right here. And what's going on here? No, I don't care. Come on, where is it? This is okay. Yeah, owning a Facebook, guys, is like having a lot of notifications, so it's all good. So we got a guy from Freehold, New Jersey. His name is Kevin Hurley. He watched the CFL on CBS Sports, big-time Edmonton Elks fan, and he asked the question, is the CFL really considering the rules to NFL rules? I love the NFL, but I also enjoy the CFL because of the rules it has. I love receivers running up to the line before the snaps. I remember doing this playing street 2-hand touch football in Brooklyn in the early 70s when Syndicats first televised CFL games in 1972 on WOR in New York. Long-time fan, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I shout out to him about that, watching the games in 72. I bet he saw guys like Ronnie Lancaster, George Reed, and Russ Jackson out there, and he saw one of the greats out there, and I commend you on that. And to answer your question is, they say that the commissioners say it's not going to make an NFL rules and stuff like that, but it seemed like the NFL rules with the 100 yards and without the 55-yard field. Do I like it? That's a big no. I know you don't like that.
No.
But the fact is, I think they're trying to make it closer so the fans can watch it. And I don't know, maybe attract NFL. I don't know. I just don't like it at all, and I don't like it one bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it, and I think I spoke to Ron Snyder about this. I even asked him what his thoughts were. I think the reason they wanted to shorten the field is a couple reasons. One, you have some venues that are too small, like Toronto and Molson in Montreal, and that's why they're shortening the end zones. I get that part, but I think also they want to attract other markets. I mean, they want to attract not only maybe other cities in CFL, but maybe have like some preseason games in NFL stadiums, or and you had mentioned that BMO will be hosting American college football games up there, so. I think it's some interchange with that. Personally, I think this commissioner is short-sighted. He's kind of like, seems like, okay, well, you're a media guy, and the owners kind of like picked him. It's like, all right, make us some money. They want him. He wants to be like Goodell. He wants to be a Goodell and just, I'm the commissioner of the league, but really he's an employee of the 9 owners or ownership groups, and they're kind of like, all right, get us some TV deals, make us some money somehow. What are you going to do? And then what he's doing, he's probably just watching the NFL and it's like, all right, well, they're printing money down there. And I think he's trying to copy them, but I think he's copying the wrong thing. He's trying to copy, just the rules. And I mean, I think he thinks a lot of people don't understand the Canadian rules, maybe, or I don't know what his issue is with it, but I mean,
and I feel like, then I feel like this will we talking about this until we scream, until we turn red. I feel like the commissioner got knowledge of the CFL as much as we do, and I feel like he never played the game and never understand the situation, how strategious these creep downs, 60 yards, 60 winded fills and 120 yards, and the end zone, the goalpost in the middle of the field. You don't know the dynamics of that, and I feel like the problem is you want to cater to the Western audience, and as a Western audience, why don't you cater to people in your own country? Right. And that's the problem is, and I think he's a TSN. I think he's a TSN stooge, and I just think all he knows about like you say, he's short-sighted, and he's not playing the long game. So that's what happened. No offense, we did the NFL, not NFL. Oops, the American expansion. The owners and the commissioners were short-sighted. They know it was a quick cash. They know they can get in the green, but guess what? That would decimate the league 4 or 5 years down the road. Like I say, like we talked about, what you need to do is worry about bringing the fans back to the stadium. And also what you need to do is try to work your best, your damnedest, to have the 10th team. Because next year, it's going to be a little bit redundant next year with the rules and the playoff things and all the whatnots. So.
The playoff schedule, that's what I have a bigger problem with. The other thing I have is with the Rouge rule that they actually implemented this year. He seems to be of the opinion of, getting the 1 point if you miss, but you go past the end zone, saying that's rewarding failure. I don't think it could be any further from the truth, because, I mean, it's like if they miss a field goal, in CFL, you can bring the kick back, like a kickoff, or a punt. And I don't know, I disagree with that ruling, and I'm not sure. I mean, with the field, shortening the field, I don't agree with that. I definitely don't agree with shortening the end zones, although they'll still be deeper than the NFL or NCAA ones will, but still, I don't want them to tinker with that anymore, and they better not tinker with the 3 down versus 4 down. If they switch to 4 downs, it's just going to look like, NFL Europe no offense, UFL. Okay, so it's like...
And we're also going to lose a lot of viewers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because people are stuck with the old school ways and stuff like that. And, like, yeah, I'm still going to cover it, but it's not going to be the same. And it's like next year, it's not going to be the same either. It's going to be weird seeing the goalpost back in the regular end zone and stuff like that. And it feels like it will take I know it's going to be 110 yards back. Like, and this my question is, like, now, so basically, say they're going to make it 110 yards, it'll be a back in the end zone.
No, well, it's basically from goal line to goal line, it's going to be like NFL now. It's going to be 50-yard line is going to be the center instead of the 55. But the end zones will be a little deeper. I don't know if the field will be wider. That's another thing I hope they don't tinker with, because I think that opens up a lot of offense too. But, I mean, the other thing, Bill, that you've probably seen in our groups and comments on these videos, the Canadians kind of feel like the CFL is their own game. It's something unique to Canada. And they feel like Johnson is just trying to copy America. And a lot of Canadians are having problems with that. I mean, with tariffs and stuff, and they kind of feel like, kind of have like an inferiority complex. And it's like a lot of the big businesses in Canada are American companies. You have Ford advertising trucks saying, made Canadian tough. You have Heinz ketchup from your neck of the woods in Pittsburgh, but when they post ads at Blue Jays and Argos games, they're saying it's made with Canadian tomatoes. They don't want to eat something, from that's made in Pennsylvania.
No. And we're the same way down in Pennsylvania. We scoff at Hunt's ketchup. It's a Heinz country down here.
Right.
But it's like I say, like, it's going to tinker in so much. Like, I feel bad for the kickers because, okay, a 20-yard field goal has now became a 30-yard field goal because it's a 110-yard stadium. It's in the back of the end zone. Now, you at the 40-yard line. Now, if you don't make the second down, you have to punt. And then, 9 and 10, you're going to punt that in the end zone, and that's another ruse right there. Like, are we going to see a lot more two-point conversions? We're going to see a lot more ruse that way. Like, who knows, Like,
that's what, and you make a good point, though, because, it's like, you'll still have deeper end zones, but then you're still putting the goalpost behind it. Yeah, that's going to create some problems. I didn't even think about that with the deeper end. That's a good point, though. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. And then another thing is, like, say, for example, like they say they don't want to end the game with a ruse. All right, say you tied up and you're at the 40-yard line, and it's like 10 seconds to go, and you just tell your punter or your kicker, just boot that out of the end zone because you guarantee a ruse.
Right.
So, and like that's too many holes to these. Rules of this. Like, okay, you can put the thing back. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna make a 100-yard stadium, or whatnot? It's just stupid.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you on that, including myself and a lot of our listeners. Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, and we got another one. And sorry I butchered your name, Chris. Is his name Chris Dubé or Dube? Whatever it is, I'm sorry about that. He also say, was there this much pushback in the mid-'80s when the CFL shortened the end zone from 25 to only 20? Well, honestly, I don't know. I don't know, you know or not, I don't know.
I don't know back that far. I do remember, like, in the 90s, I think just before they expanded with the United States teams, they shortened the end zone then, and I remember, actually, some CBC broadcasts, some people were saying some of the fans didn't like that too much, but it's probably just changing the rules. People are used to the older rules, and they don't like them,
I think 80s it was more about expansion teams and like I say, they really thought they had a team in Halifax, and I don't know who fault at the end of that is maybe Halifax side or maybe CFL side or a little bit both. I think the point is I think they was losing a lot of money in the 80s, and like they almost I think I could be wrong. Ever since Warren Moon left, and I think like during the dark times, like in the late '80s and the mid '80s, I think the revenue was skyrocket down, and the popularity of that league was like slim to none.
Right.
And that's the thing. And they thought maybe to make NFL rules, and plus the talent pool was dwindling in the 80s because you had the USFL and you got the Arena Football League, and this is during the height of everyone going to spring football.
And the salaries weren't as big in the NFL as they are now, so a lot of times there were bidding wars. I mean, I had heard that I think Montreal outbid a few NFL teams to get Vince Ferragamo. So, I mean...
Yeah. And I think... And then the CFL, they panicked with the CFL, with the United States expansion because, I don't know if you remember the World Football League with the World Football League was NFL driven. I remember they had a Super Bowl, was it the Super Bowl 90 or something like that, and they had Tagaboo talk about, we got a spring league, the World Football League, and every team in every continent, blah, 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 blah. And I think Canada was so freaked out about having the Montreal Machines at the World Football League. I think they was like, all right, let's make the money, let's get the teams in the United States, let's get the teams that don't have a team,
And they pulled that again, and eventually they became NFL Europe and just said, you know what, we're just going to stay in Germany and England and, wherever. And Scotland or wherever.
And if you look at the old games, and Montreal Machine but they didn't have a team in the Alouettes anymore. They folded in mid '80s, and the crowd was there for the Machines. And it was insane, and also, if it wasn't for John Candy, and I tell this people this, even my Hamilton friends, I was like, if it wasn't for the Argonauts in the early '90s or the mid '80s, it wasn't John Candy, it wasn't Wayne Gretzky, it wasn't Rocket Ishmael, CFL as its own probably won't even be there. So they did everything possible to make the Argonauts as the Canadian team, and those couple of years it worked, and it was the best ticket around, and that was the thing. And then they capitalized that, and then they made teams in the United States, and we had dark ages in the late '90s too. So
right, yeah. Well, and the whole U.S. expansion came about because there were money problems with teams, and I think I even heard I read somewhere one of the Grey Cups, it was like one of the major sponsors of the Grey Cup had to step in to help make sure the players were paid. So, yeah, it's.
Don't you know, like, people decided for the Grey Cup every time because Grey Cup that whole week of Grey Cup pretty much it's the reason why there's the reason why they're in the green every year, because it's the week of the Grey Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything, like the side things, like the Hall of Fames and the Super Bowl, like access of the Grey Cup.
Sure.
Like they making money, hammer fist, and it sucks, like, because it should be like, okay, these teams need to make more money for the league. So, I don't know, this is the Commissioner Stewart thing that I always want to challenge that, like, how you all about changing rules, how you make profitable of the CFL, like, if I was like the CFL owners, that would be my first question. Like, how can you make more profitable, and how do you make it? How you bring the Canadian fans back to the TV and to the games too?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we talked about this before, Phil. It's like you're playing with younger audiences who are preoccupied with soccer and basketball. You also have these newer stadiums that have been built with the 110-yard field in mind, and when you're shortening the field, there are some people who have tickets, who were premium tickets, they may be slightly more obstructed view now because of all this too. So you're going to have season ticket holders upset about this. So
yeah, man, it's just like, I don't know, and I feel like, and the sad thing is the owners agree on this, and I feel like the owners are short-sighted too, and they didn't even, like, I don't know, did they talk to the Player Association, or I don't know, something like that, but it's like...
I mean, I don't really know how it would benefit them either. I mean, you know, I don't have, I mean, any type of financial advice for professional athletes. I know, like, not even zero knowledge, like negative knowledge of, but I can't see how that would benefit them more. And I mean, only way is if you have incentives, players have incentive clauses for how many touchdowns, how many field goals or whatever, but I mean, it seems to me these new rules are going to make lower scoring games, Phil, and for some reason the commissioner, or maybe the commissioner doesn't really believe it and he's just peddling BS, but he's saying that, you know, it's going to make games higher scoring and all, which, I don't know.
I think there'll be a lot of rouge and a lot of rouge for the wrong reason, and there'll be a lot of failed 2-point conversions.
Right, yeah.
That's the only chances I think they're going to be taking a lot, because you see a lot of 2-point conversions.
I think it's also going to be a lot of 3-and-outs too, because
yeah, and it'll be a lot of, and it sucks. And as a fan, I hate the fact that you at the 40-yard line or you at the 30-yard line and you have to punt the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you tell your kicker, okay, it looked like I know it's 50 yards to the line, but hell, I need you to kick a 60-something yard field goal at the 45-yard 5-yard line.
Right.
And so basically, if you hit it short, say those guys like Fattel and McAllister and all those guys, they got a chance to run that bad boy back. And it's just ridiculous. And and you're going to see a lot of games, and I'm going to tell you this right now, I'm saying this as August something 2026. Next year, you're going to see a lot of walk-off rouges by punts next year. You heard it first. And they're trying to eliminate that by field goals, and I guarantee you by punts they will.
Right.
You know? So, who knows?
Well, folks, thank you for writing in any questions. If you have any more for us, either leave comments on these videos or do so in our Facebook group, and we'll address them on the air. So.
Yeah, good questions, Kevin, and good question, Chris. And keep it coming. And I will definitely put something on the page the day we record. Like, hey, man, any questions? You can be on here. And also, if anyone want to shout out, like, if you want to put your name and shout out, we'll gladly say your name in there and say, hey, what's up? Hey, how y'all doing? And stuff like that. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah.
And if you want to sponsor the program, hello, Tim Hortons. We drove an hour, half an hour to go see you. You know, just kidding.
Yeah,
but anybody like that.
Yeah, Tim Hortons, please. I used to quit coffee, but I'm gladly to come back in the coffee world if you sponsor us.
And we'll get you some Timbits or something, man. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. I need it. So, yeah, definitely. And once again, you know, we this is a good week, and this is going to be a good week of football this week, and it's coming down now. This playoff is now the playoff push now, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
all right, well, Phil, so we spoke to our listeners and answered their questions. Again, thank you for that. Do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap things up?
Yeah, once again, I just want to say thank y'all for listening, and most definitely we're going to have some more videos. I might do a hype-up video for the Montreal-Edmonton game, because I think this will be an epic game. We're going to do Brandy and Phil. We're actually going to have a video this week, and we're going to have a good video of that, and like I say, watch these games. And 2 weeks from now, I'll be at Jake Goss, one of our sponsors, and trust me, he's giving us human money soon, so thank you, Bill. And I'm gonna do a podcast there. So whoever is in the Pittsburgh area and whoever there, you can meet Bill Burke, you can meet myself, and I'm gonna do a thing right there, and also possibly might go there and watch a football game there. So check us out. So come to Jake Goss.
All right.
And also once again the half off. Well, not the half off.
10% off if you mention the name CFL fans in the USA.
Not half off, guys.
No. 10%.
I'll go myself.
Right.
But yeah, for sure. So anyway, make sure of that, and me and Rick are gonna do our thing, and thank you for watching us.
All right. Yeah, all right, folks. Yes, definitely. Thank you for watching and listening to us talk Canadian football. We will talk to you next week.